Hi, you're watching Our Talk. I'm Jujhar Singh. We have a fantastic young violinist on the show today. Kala Ramnath is called the Sultana of Strings. She plays Indian classical music. She's also collaborated with jazz musicians. Songlines is listed as one of 50 best instrumentalists in the world in the genre of world music. Kala, it's a great pleasure having you on the show today.
Thank you, Jujhar.
Now, your violin is called a singing violin. It plays like it sings. So why don't we straight away begin with a little demonstration from you?
Sure.
What a beautiful start to the show.
Thank you.
Let's start from the beginning now. You're the seventh generation in a musical family. You started learning at the age of 3 from your grandfather, Vidwan Narayan Iyer. Then you started training under your very famous violinist aunt, Dr. N. Rajam. Then you switched to Pandit Jasraj. How come the switch?
I think I was 13 or 14. Yeah. I lost my father just then, and Ustad Zakir Hussain had come home to see us just after that. And my grandfather asked me to play the violin in front of him. And he was listening to me for the first time.
Yeah.
So,
Although you'd been playing for many years by then.
oh yeah. I mean, maybe 13, 14 years. I started when I was 2.5. So.
Yeah, you were this high.
So then it so happened that he listened to me, and then he just made a comment saying, look, you're playing very well. You're playing totally like your aunt. But who would want to listen to a copy when there's the original there who's playing that so beautifully?
Yeah, good point.
Who would want to listen to a copy of the original?
Yeah.
So that set me thinking.
But then why Pandit Jasraj after that for you?
I thought his music was most suitable to what I would like to project with the violin.
You were with him for 15 years with Jasrajji.
Yes.
And what he was singing, you were replicating on the violin.
Exactly.
So what did it bring? You wanted to bring a sort of vocal emotionalism into your violin.
Into my violin. My aunt did that with Pandit Omkar Nath Thakur. So I had to do something different. So I brought Panditji's music. I tried to do that with the violin. Yeah.
What was the difference? In fact, if you can show it to us, what was the before you went to Pandit Jasraj and what was the after? Can you show us?
The thing was, when I learnt earlier, I didn't learn the words. I learnt the tune from my aunt. So a composition, like I just played Vaishnava Janato, right? I would play the tune. Ta sa ga 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 ma ga re ga ma pa pa da ma ga. Okay? So that would sound this way.
That was earlier. Okay, and now how do you do it?
So now, wherever there are words, Vaishnav Jan to tene kahiye je. If that is that, so Vaishnava, wherever. So
Amazing. What a difference, no?
that's the difference.
It's a huge difference.
Exactly.
You know, I asked Pandit Jasraji about you recently, and when I asked him, he was singing your praises.
I'm very blessed to have him as my guru. Yes.
And what does Zakir have to say about your violin now?
I think he likes me playing the violin. He likes my violin, which is why he has me perform a lot of concerts with him all the time. Yeah. I mean, how do I say what he likes about my violin?
You haven't been up to him and said, by the way, I made that big change in my life because of you. Now what do you think?
No, he knows that. He knows that. I've repeatedly told him that many times. Rubbed it in saying, now that I've done this, what next?
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the violin now. Yeah. Because the violin is actually very good anyway in approximating the human voice, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, I mean, it's even in the West and in India, everybody consider this the closest to the human voice. Of course, in India we have the sarangi too. But I mean, the violin is also equally close for the simple reason we have no frets.
What are the other things that a violin can do which other instruments may not be able to do for Indian classical music?
You take a sitar. If you take a sitar, after a point of time, it doesn't have the continuity or the resonance. You have to strum it.
Yeah.
So if I'm playing a tan, okay, like
on a sitar, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would play because for every note I have to strum.
Yeah.
So that is, let me take Rag Yaman.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm playing this tan, this is, I have to, it's like
you have to keep strumming the sitar because it won't resonate
note.
Beyond the point.
Yes.
Okay, but on the violin, what happens? Yeah.
It's all in one bow, and it sounds like like a vocal thing. I could do that.
Yeah.
So I could do this like a vocalist, or I could play it like a sitarist does it.
Yeah, you have the option.
I have the option. So
tell me, the violin has 4 strings, of course, which you use with a bow.
Yeah.
It's essentially supposed to be a European instrument.
Yeah.
How did it take its place in Indian classical music?
You know, the origin of the violin is from India. Do you know that? It's an instrument called the Ravan
But
Hatta.
that must have been centuries ago.
Oh yeah, it is called the Ravan Hatta. And mythologically, it's said that Ravan created this. But it has been there in India for decades. I mean, for many thousands of years. And it was only when the Arabs came into India for trade, they took this Ravan Hatta to Persia, and from Persia it went to Spain and became the viola, violin, whatever.
Yeah.
Then it came
back. And then they exported it back to us.
Exactly.
But the violin you play for Indian classical music is exactly the same as they play in the West.
It is the same instrument, only thing...
the posture is different.
The posture is different, the tuning is different.
Yeah, sure.
And the technique is also different.
Okay, well, as far as the posture is concerned, of course, in the West, they stand and play the violin. They can
like
also
this.
sit, and it's from the neck.
Yeah, it's like this.
Yeah, from the neck.
Yes.
You played from the chest.
Yes.
And it's going down.
Yeah, and the reason I have to do this is in the West, when you play this way, so this is all they do, right? They don't go. You hear this?
Yeah.
This cannot be done in the West.
Yeah,
For
by
the
putting
simple
it like
reason,
this,
if you put it this way, you need support here.
Yeah.
For you to slide your hand. So this is the only thing that you can do in the West.
Yeah. That's very interesting.
Yes,
And I have a feeling that it's probably more comfortable playing it the Indian way.
it is comfortable, I wouldn't say, but it has its disadvantages too. Because we overdo it by sitting a lot.
So it's bad for your back, but it's better for the neck. The Indian way is not a pain in the neck, right?
It's definitely not. So,
But can get you back problems.
oh, yes.
Like
yes.
you have.
Yes. So, I mean, but it helps. You know, see, my hands are free.
Yeah.
So when I have to play, I can move it any way I want because the violin is supported here by my collarbone and by my ankle. Yeah. So.
But tell me, Kala, I mean, you've traveled in dozens of countries in the world.
Yeah.
When you perform in the West, how did they react to, what is supposed to be their instrument, coming out, belting out rags,
They are stunned. They're really, really stunned that the violin can sound this way. And the rags that we play, and it sounds as though it's an Indian instrument playing, but they're able to relate to the instrument because it's their own instrument. And I do a lot of stuff where, I incorporate Western techniques, bowing techniques in Indian music. So they're able to relate to that too. And the fingering is something they're astounded as to how the hell can this happen. So
okay, very nice.
So
well, I'm now tempted at this point to ask you if you can play another short piece for us.
Okay. So this is an Indian thing that I play. Now let me show you a little bit of the Western stuff that the bowing techniques that I've used incorporated in Indian music.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah. So this is something called the spiccato. So. This is one. This is a very Western technique. And this, when I get fast, the bow jumps on the string like this. So it's jumping from one corner to the other.
And you incorporate this in your classical music.
Yes,
here in India.
when I get faster, when you have the jhala in instrumental music. So I try to show that to show the genius of the instrument.
Right.
So
right.
then
it's
I
versatility.
use exactly.
Okay, can I tell you at this point, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll hear more of your beautiful violin.
Definitely.
We'll also talk about your collaboration with jazz music.
Sure.
Keep watching Our Talk. We'll be right back.